It's not easy to find good work in Israel. With a median wage of just under 6,500 shekels a month, according to latest figures, but most of the diaspora in the developed world, that means the challenge of finding suitable employment is a major barrier to encouraging Aliyah. Indeed, Aliyah from the affluent Anglosphere is negligible and probably negative in real terms, and immigration from France has dropped 32% in the first half of 2016 compared to the corresponding period last year. In a new report, the Jewish People Policy Institute attributes the drop in French Aliyah to a fear of enduring the same fate as their relatives, namely finding it difficult to find work in their chosen fields or sustain their earning power. The Ministry of Immigrant Absorption is hoping job fairs like this one in Tel Aviv will reverse the trend.
We are doing these job fairs. We are teaching people Hebrew, and we are trying to match between the employer and the employee.
The government also hopes affirmative action will encourage employers to take on new Olim, giving them a step up in the job market over native Israelis.
We just started a new program for non-professional people. We are helping to the employers. We are paying half of the salary of the new Olim who is coming, who is accepted to the job for 6 months, and then the employer is obliged to continue to work with this Ole for another 6 months. We are talking about non-professional Olim Hadashim who is finding the job, and then the government is paying 50% of the minimum salary in Israel.
But why can't new immigrants get reasonable employment without governmental assistance? Richard Binstock heads Israel Executive, which helps new immigrants find work. He says it's a structural problem in the Israeli economy.
Nowadays, I think there's more candidates and people than open positions. I think it's a job-driven market, which means that the supply of people exceeds normal, full-time, even decent jobs. 9,000 shekels a month is a really good salary, and you grab it and you're grateful and you don't shop around and you don't think, well, hang on, that's less than what I expected. I think that moment of realization, I remember it well myself, is a pill to swallow, a tough pill to swallow.
So what does it take to find a job in Israel? Jonathan Javor, director of TLV International, says the trick is patience, persistence, good old-fashioned chutzpah, and a little help from one's friends.
A lot of help from good people who have an interest in making sure that young Olim who come here can stay here and thrive here, because finding a job, building a family is the biggest part of feeling at home and keeping Olim in Israel. Networking is crucial in Israel, probably even more so than any other country. Knowing people is so important. You always have to be willing and be ready to say, hey man, I'm looking for a job, do you know anybody, do you know anything? Connections are something that you make, and that comes down to networking, it comes down to being outgoing, and not everybody is like that, and it certainly helps, but you really have to put yourself out there, and you can make your own protection, you can make your own connections.
The state of Israel will not be given to the Jewish people on a silver platter, said Israel's first president, Chaim Weizmann, referring to the poem by Natan Alterman. And as every wave of Olim to Israel discovers, it's not delivered on a silver spoon either.